Okay, so today I'll be starting with the another method for solving uh, an ODE or numerical solution to an ODE. So that method is called as Runge-Kutta method. Okay, and this is the last method in our syllabus in this chapter. Sorry, Runge-Kutta method. Okay, so this is the name of the method, Runge-Kutta method. Now this has two types of order 2 and of second order, of order 2 and order 4. So I will just do of order 2 because only that is mentioned in the syllabus of order 2. Basically order 4 is much better as it gives you more precise results, but that is not in our syllabus, in the truncated syllabus. So we'll only do the Runge-Kutta method of order 2. So what is the iterative scheme of this method? So again we have the same things. Again we have the same things. That means I have some ordinary differential equation with the initial condition y at x naught is y naught. Then the iteration scheme is like this. Let me write down the iteration scheme. The iteration scheme for Runge-Kutta method is this. So it is y1 is y naught plus k. Okay, now what is k? Where k is equals to average of k1 k2, that means k1 plus k2 by 2. And what is this k1 and k2? I'll tell you. So what is this k1 and k2? K1 is this one, h times f of x0 y0. And what is k2? K2 is this constant, h into f of x naught plus h to y naught plus k1. So I'll tell you what exactly you have to do. This is the iterative scheme. So the iterative scheme is y1 equals to y naught plus k. So to get the new value of y, you're adding k to the previous value. Now what is this k? K is the average of k1 and k2. And what is k1? K1 is this. What is k2? K2 is this. So that means you first have to compute k1. You then have to compute k2. With the help of k1, k2 you find out k. And with this k you find out the new value of y, that is y1. Okay, so I'm not going into the technicalities, the derivation and all those things, because you not understand at this moment, because it actually comes from something called as Taylor's method, which is not in the syllabus. So for the exam's point of view, this only iterative scheme is important, and if you are interested to do the proofs and everything, you can refer any book and all. Okay, so this is the iterative scheme. So the idea is very simple. You find out k1, you find out k2. With the help of k1 and k2 you find out k and add that to the previous value. Okay, so let me teach you by taking an example. So here is the question. You have to compute y at 0.4 from the differential equation dy dx equals to x minus y. Y0 is 1. Okay, that means x naught is 0, y naught is 1, and taking h equals to 0.1. That means you have to go for 4 iterations from 0 to 0.1, 0.1 to 0.2, 0.2 to 0.3, and 0.3 to 0.4, and then you'll get your answer by the Runge-Kutta method of order 2, correct up to 5 places of decimal. The solution is like this. As you know, we first write down what are x naught, y naught functions. So here x naught is 0. This is your x naught. Y naught is 1. This is your y naught. Okay. The function is x minus y. Okay. And the value of h already given is 0.1. So we are ready to apply the Runge-Kutta method. Okay, we are ready to apply the Runge-Kutta method. So let's do it. So for applying, you have to first determine K1, K2, then K, and then you will get the value of Y1. You have to go in the backward manner because Y1 depends upon K and K depends upon K1 and K2, and K1 is this, K2 is this. So your first task is to find K1 and K2, and with the help of K1 and K2 find K, and with this K you find Y1. So let's do it. Okay, let's do it. That means we have to first find K. So what is K? So K was H into f of x0 comma y0. H was 0.1 and this is f of x0. x0 was 0, y0 was 1. You may check. x0 was 0, y0 was 1. And what was the function? X minus y. So 0.1 into x minus y. So it is minus 0.1. Right? So this is the value of K1, not K, sorry, this is the value of K1. So I have determined K1. I will now determine K2. What was K2? Hold on. K2 was H times f of, so increment H in x0 and increment K1 in y0. This was the formula for K2. H is 0.1. F of x0 plus h. So x0 is 0, h is 0.1. So this will become 0.1. And y plus k1. So y0 is 1. y0 is 1 and k1 is minus 0.1. So 1 minus 0.1 is 0.9. And what is the function? It is x minus y. So 0.1 minus 0.9 is 0.8. So what are we getting? We are getting 1 into 8 is 8, so minus 0.08. Am I clear with calculating K1 and K2? So next step is to find the average of these two, and average is nothing but the average of K1 and K2. So K is K1 plus K2 by 2, K1 is minus 0.1, K2 is minus 0.08 by 2. So what is this average coming as? What is this average coming as? It is minus 0.1 minus 0.08 divided by 2 minus 0.09. This is coming as minus, is it? Let me check. Okay, I feel that I made some mistake. Minus 0.1 minus 0.08 divided by 2. Okay, we are getting this minus 0.09. So what is y1? What is y1? y1 means y at 0.1. Why 0.1? The new value of y at the new point. So initial x0 was 0. So y at 0.1 because h is 0.1. Okay, so x0 plus this, it was nothing but y0 plus k. So y0 is 1, k is this. So what are we getting? 0.91, no? I guess, yeah. 1 minus, definitely it will come this only, I guess. 109. Yes, 0.9. So this is the value of y at 0.1. So this is just the first iteration. This is just the first iteration. Am I clear? Okay, so now we will have to go for new iteration. So for the new iteration, x1 is 0.1, y1 means y at 0.1, which is nothing but 0.91, and function remains same, everything remains same. So for now again find k1. So what is k1? It is h times f of x1 y1, right? Now let's compute this. H is 0.1 into f of x1 y1. So x1 is 0.1, y1 is 0.91. So what is the function? The function is x minus y, this minus this. Okay, so 0.1 minus 0.91 minus 0.81. If I multiply them, so 0.1 into 0.81, it is coming as 0.081. So this is the value of K1. This is the value of K1. Okay. Now we will determine K2. So let's go for finding K2. So what is K2? So K2 is h times f of x1 plus h and y1 plus k1. Okay, that means h is 0.1, f of x1 plus h, x1 is 0.1 and h is also 0.1, that will become 0.2. y1 was, so y1 I had computed, so y1 is 0.91 as you can see here, and k1 is 0.081. We'll add them. So this is your that value y1 plus k1. So 0.081 plus 0.91. So I am getting 0.991. So 0.991. 0.991. And what is the function? The function is x minus y. So x minus y. So minus 0.2 into 0.1. It is coming as minus 0.0791. So our task is to find the average of K1 and K2. What is K? It is K1 plus K2 over 2. So K1 was how much? 0.081, 0.081 and minus, I guess. Right. Oh, I made a mistake. Sorry. So if even if you make a single mistake, everything else will be wrong. But this is minus. So all the things will be wrong. Okay. So this will be, you have to, if you are adding this y1 plus k1, so this time this will change. So 0.91 plus minus is minus 0.081. 0.829. Sorry. Here it is 0.829. So it is 0.829. This is 0.829. Okay, so this value will change. So 0.2 minus 0.829 into 0.1. 0 minus 0.0629. 629 minus 0.0629. So K1 is this in negative, K2 again in negative by 2. So minus 0.081 by 2. It is coming as minus 0.07195. Minus 0.07195. So this is the value of K. Okay. So what is the value of y day of y2? Y2 means y at 0.1 plus h, that is 0.2. It is y1 plus k. So y1 was nothing but 0.91. So 0.91 plus k minus 0.07195. So what is the value of y2? 0.91 minus 0.07195. 0.83805. 0.83805. Did you get my point up to here? Y2? If you have any doubt, please ask. It's calculative, I know, but there is no other option. Let's go to the third iteration to find y at 0.3. So we have now x2 as 0.2 and y2 as 0.83805. We'll now determine k1. K1 is h times f of x2 comma y2, right? F of x2 comma y2, that means this minus this, because the function is x minus y, right? So just do it very quickly. 0.2 minus 0.83805 into 0.1, divide by it. It is coming as minus 0.063805. We'll now determine K2. K2 is again h time f of x2 plus h, that will become 0.3. That will become 0.3 x2 plus h and comma y2 plus k1. 0.2 plus 0.1 is 0.3 and y2 plus k1. So this plus this, that means plus 0.8305. It is coming as 0.774245. So which is nothing but, you please do it. So function is this minus this. So 0.3 minus 0.774245 into 0.1. So it is coming as minus 0.0474245. Okay, and we will take the average of this one. So k is k1 plus k2 over 2, right? So what is this? Minus, so you will add this to, that means minus is plus only, 0.063805 divided by 2. So it is coming huge. We'll take up to 6 decimal places. That will work, 6 or 7 decimal places, because we have to go up to 5 decimal places. 0.5561 48. So what is y3 therefore? So y3 is nothing but y at 0.3, which is nothing but y2 plus k, that means 0.83805 plus this, that means becoming minus only 0.055648. It is coming as 0.782432. So this is the value of the function at the point 0.3. So we are still not done, because our target is to find y at 0.4. Y at 0.4. Am I clear up to here? Any confusions? So what is y4? So x3 is 0.3, y3 is 0.782432. We are ready to calculate k1, which is h times f of x0 y0. So this minus this. So 0.3 minus 0.782432. So it is same as minus 0.482432 minus, so into 0.1. It is becoming definitely one more zero will come, 0.04 482435. I'm just taking up to 7 decimal places because I want to get the answer correct up to 2 decimal places. 5 decimal places. So K2 is again h times f of x naught, sorry, x3 plus h, that will become 0.4 this time, comma y naught, sorry, y3 plus k1. So this plus this, so here is minus, so it will become minus. So 0.7824352 minus 0.0482435. So it is coming as 0.73419117. So f of x comma y is x minus y. So it is coming as minus 0.033419. So what is k? K is the average of these two. So k is the average of these two, 0.0482435 plus 0.034192 divided by 2. It is coming as minus 0.0408314. So what is the value of y4, which is y at 0.4? It is this plus this, so eventually it will become minus because this minus is present here, right? So it is 0.7824352 minus this 0.0408314. It is coming as 0.741603. So which is y at 0.4. I have to give my answer correct up to 5 decimal places. So this is 0.74160. So this is your answer. Correct up to 5 decimal places. Y at 0.4. So the method is big enough, but one of the most important methods in this chapter. Okay. So few things to note: smaller the value of h, more number of iterations and hence better answer. Okay. If you take a big value of h, the answer will be not that precise. The smaller the value of h, better is your answer, but the number of iterations will be more. If they have already given you the number of, if you have already given you the value of h, then you have to take that. If they have not given you the value of h, you try to take h as small as you can, but keeping in mind that you have to do more number of steps, okay, or more number of iterations. So let me still show you one more example. So here is the question. You have to again use the Runge-Kutta method to determine y at 0.2 up to 4 decimal places from dy dx equals to xy, y at 0 is 2 and taking h equals to 0.1. So this time the advantage is you have to just do 2 iterations because you have to just find y at 0.2. So from 0 to 0.1 and then 0.2. So only 2 iterations will be there. So let's solve in the same manner. So write all those things. What is x naught? X naught is 0, y naught is 2, h is 0.1, h is 0.1, yeah, and function is xy, x into y. Okay. So let's start the iteration. We'll first find k1. So k1 is h into f of x naught comma y naught, which is 0.1 into f of x naught comma y naught 0 comma 2, and the function here is x into y. So 0 into 2 is 0, and this is becoming 0. So this will also be, this into 0 will be 0. So k1 is 0 this time. We are happy then. k2 is h times f of x naught plus h comma y naught plus k1. So this is h is 0.1 times f of x naught plus h. So what is x naught? It is 0 plus h. That is a new value of x. This is basically a new value of x. That is x 0.1. 0 plus h is 0.1 comma y naught plus k1. So y naught is 2, k1 is 0. So this means 2 only. So 0.1 into this, right? So this into this. It will become how much? This is 0.2, so this will become 0.02. Because the function is this into this, so this into this is 0.2 and 0.2 into 0.1 is 0.0. Now we are ready to find k. So k is the average of these two, k1 plus k2 by 2. So this plus this by 2, it is 0.01. So what is the value? y1 is y at actually 0.1, y at x naught plus h basically. So this is y naught plus k. So it is coming as 2.0. Right? So I have done the same thing now. Let's go for the second iteration. x1 equals to 0.1 and y1 equals to 2.01. So let's compute this time again k1. So k1 is h times f of x1 comma y1. h is 0.1 cross function is x1 into y1. So this into this. So 0.1 into 2.01. Let's multiply this. 0.1 into 0.1 into 2.01. 0.0201. 0.0201. Okay, I hope I have not made any mistakes. So what is k2? What is k2? It is h into f of x1 plus h comma y1 plus k1. What is that? 0.1 into the function is x into y, so this into this. What is this? x1 plus h. So 0.1 in plus 0.1, that is 0.2 into y1 plus k1. y1 is this plus k1 is this. Let's add them. 2.01 plus this 0.0201. So 2.0301. So let's multiply them into 0.2 into 0.1. It is coming as 0.040602. So what is my value of k? K is the average of these two. So please determine the average. Please determine the average. 0.040602 plus 0.0201 divided by 2. It is 0.030351. Again I will check. Let me check it again. 0.040602 plus 0.0201 divided by 2. What am I getting? 0.03051. So what is the value of y2, which is nothing but y at 0.2. Y at 0.2, which is y1 plus k. So y1 plus k. So this plus k. This plus k is 2.01 plus k. We are getting 2.040351. 351. As we have to give the answer correct up to 4 decimal places, so 2.0404. So this is your answer, correct up to 4 decimal places. Y at 0.2. Okay, now let's see how good is this method. So how will I determine that? I will tell you, don't worry. So let's see how good this method is. So let's see how good this method is. So how to determine that? So what was the differential equation? The differential equation was dy dx equals to xy, y0 equals to 2. This was the differential equation. Let's see what is the answer of this, or what is the solution to this differential equation. You all have done differential equation in the class 12 level. So I expect all of you can solve this differential equation. So this is dy by y equals to x dx. So integrating. So this is log y. So ln mod y equals to integration of x is x square by 2 plus some integrating constant. So how to determine this constant c? By putting this condition. So when x equals to 0, y equals to 2, so put the value of 2, put the value of y as 2, so log mod 2 is 2, and x square by 2, 0 square by 2, that is nothing but 0 only, so it is coming as 0 plus c. So what is the value of c we are getting? Log 2 or ln mod 2 you can say. So therefore what I have, ln mod y equals to x square by 2 plus ln c, ln c is log 2 or ln 2 basically. We can simplify this further. Ln y minus ln 2 equals to x square by 2. I hope you all know these things. What next? Log a minus log b is log of a by 2, a by b. Log a minus log b is log of a by b, x square by 2. So from here y by 2 is exponential x square by 2. I hope you know the definition of log. So if log a is equals to b, so a equals to e to the power b. I hope you know. Or what is the value of y are we getting? 2 e to the power x square by 2. So this is the value of y we are getting. So let's determine y at 0.2 and let's see what are we getting. So this is the value of y. Y definitely depends upon x. So let's put 0.2 here in place of x. So 2 into e to the power. So where is e in my calculator? It will be there. E will be definitely there. Yes, e is there. So you can shift. Right, no. Will it work? I hope it works. No. So 2 into alpha e to the power. Let me check one thing. Alpha e. Yeah, this is correct. So 2 into e to the power. I hope you can see this. E to the power 0.2 square. So 0.2. Actually, let me use a bracket. 0.2 square divided by, what am I getting? See, what am I getting? You may check. 2.0404 and so on. But if I am taking up to 4 decimal places, I am getting 2.0404. And what was the answer that Rangakutta method gave us? You see, what did we get? 2.0404. And what are we getting after solving it manually? We are getting the exactly same, correct up to 4 decimal places. So you see how nice this Rangakutta method is. It is giving us very precise answers. Am I clear? So this is one of the most important methods in this chapter, the Rangakutta method, and this is it is giving us very precise answer, as you can check. So am I clear? This is I just told you that like that only, that to see how nice the Rangakutta method is. Is it actually giving us the answer to by this method? Like if you are doing it manually, we are getting this answer, and if you are using the Rangakutta method, we are again getting a very close answer. So why this Rangakutta method is important? Like you might argue, sir, we can do it this way only to all the numerical methods, but it is not always possible to solve an ODE. So keep that in mind. Like if I give you a very complicated ODE, you cannot use this manual method to solve that ODE. So for that we have to go for numerical methods. So this completes the chapter based on the solution to ordinary differential equations.